Our topic tonight is New Zealand music funding, which happens to be greatly entangled with broadcast funding. Joining us to discuss the state of the play are Brendan Smythe, the head of NZ On Air's music project since its inception in 1991, Gray Bartlett, a seasoned performer on the musical and political stages who has played a role in the careers of both Hayley Westenra and Yulia, and Real Groove editor Duncan Grieve, who ran the interview with Neil Finn that probably marked the start of the backlash against the Labour government's musical outreach. So, what's the fuss about? Well, we put together a little history for you. In the beginning, there was light entertainment. If you were in a band, family shows and light entertainment were your chance to get discovered on TV, even when you weren't really family entertainment. With the 80s and a little foreign enterprise called MTV came the era of the music video. You either made your music video pretty much for free, or the NZBC would book a studio and make a really lame one for you. Radio was still a foreign land. Commercial stations notoriously refused to play poi air, and crowded houses don't dream it's over. In 1985, a petition for a New Zealand music quota went nowhere. In 1989, deregulation changed everything. The public broadcasting obligation passed from the broadcaster to NZ On Air. In 1991, NZ On Air began giving grants directly to record companies, $5,000 to make a music video. 17 years later, it's still $5,000. In 1992, NZ On Air embarked on what it called Phase 2, the creation of a sampler for radio programmers called the Kiwi Hit Disc, to be followed by the Iwi Hit Disc and the Indie Hit Disc. A few years later, Phase 3 introduced a taxpayer-funded plugger who urged radio to play our songs. Enter the Labour government with its cultural rescue package.
Need more than a cheeky smile.
With new money, NZ On Air began to fund the recording of songs for the radio. Meanwhile, Broadcasting Minister Marion Hobbs talked the radio industry into accepting a local quota. Make that voluntary music targets. The quid pro quo may or may not have been the magical disappearance of a proposed public youth radio network, something the commercial broadcasters feared more than quotas. New Zealand artists' share of radio schedules hit 15% in 2003, up from 2% in 1996, then brushed 20%. There were more platinum records, more number ones than ever before. There were stars, among them Helen Clark at the annual Music Awards. The tide has ebbed since. The U2-sized export smash never happened, and Kiwi FM, operated by Radio Works on a free government frequency, has a microscopic 0.1% of the commercial radio audience. But NZ On Air still pumps $5 million a year into music, making it the main source of public funding for the industry. So, has NZ On Air become, as a Metro magazine story suggested this month, a de facto record company? Has its mission to fund music that fits commercial radio formats begun to twist the industry out of shape? And how much does radio matter now anyway?